Hello, hello, hello. Hello, welcome. Let's switch over to the current scene. Hey! So today I'm gonna dive in and what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do today? Today will be working or looking at a drag and drop functionality on iOS, so prototyping stuff. It's like a greenfield thing. Got let's open the task list here. We'll switch over to the screen. Good to see you. Hello, welcome to the stream. I've got to actually get a. I've just turned down the music here. All right. All right. Right. So let's just dive straight into it. I think things are pretty easy. There we go. Let's switch over to our lovely little view here. All right, so we've just got this new project that I created yesterday. It's a prototype. That was a drag. I think it was drag drop prototype. So this is like just an app I created. I was actually considering using a LLM to do this, and I thought LLMs no. I actually started thinking about the process of using an LLM and where it would take me, and realized that I actually wanted to know about what it is that I was building, because it's important to take this prototype work and then to put it and to take it over to the full implementation. So this is the learning process, right? So you go in, you create like a mock or prototype project, and then you just kind of blah your way through it, like you vibe code, the real vibe coding. And then you just kind of like code away without any kind of hindrance or consideration for things like architecture or double checking and doing things accurately. Just kind of pump things out to proof of concept, proof of concept. So I've got this here. I'll just clone it. I think this is a private repo, SSH key private repo, because at the end of the day, the code is going to be used for a commercial project, so I can't really. Would you like to update OhmyZSH? That's another cool thing here. You got OhmyZSH, which is a cool little tool. And updates. What do we got here? Oh, a whole stack of stuff. Actually, it won't be in here because it is a Scratch project. There's a Scratch folder here. Let's clone this. That was like, I actually did a test, like 1 hour of Django to build like Django site. And that was actually pretty cool. Swift, so that's actually Python. So I was quite happy with that. I thought it was, I thought Python was easy to use. It was effective in doing what I needed to do. Let's fix the mic up here like this. I'm gonna fix it up so it's like that. So, there we go. We need to move that over here, I think. There we go. That's better. Oh, it's still kind of big. Oh, that's all right. Whatever. I think the thing is, I just want to look into the camera here. All right, we got that. Let's open. Let's see where we're at here. I really wanted to do a lot more than just once a week, twice a week, and I really do think. Where is it? Content. I really do think we could do it. Just tip on this here for now. Yeah. All right, so we've got. Let's clone this. Cloned it. Yeah. So we cloned it, and then we can just open. I'll open this. Sure. You can can't see it. So you can all see this, open-a Xcode. So you can just do that and, oh, actually open dot -a Xcode. And you can actually open whatever is in the folder in Xcode, and Xcode will detect it as a project. Okay. So the content, this is the view that I've got here so far. This is what I've just sort of been working on. The goal today is to actually get this set up to drag and drop from one thing to the other. So I'll write it out. I usually do with notes. So we've got this here. It's got we've got basic drag functionality. We also books. Open a book because I'll show you how I do this when I do discovery. I call it discovery, right? Proof of concept discovery. Not now. Don't want to discover new books. Let's go to what my books are. I was using this book called Swift UI Views Mastery, and I'll open it up here. This is my books collection. You can see there's quite a bit I've been dabbling in, so to speak. And this one right now. Okay, so this is loaded. So this is the proof of concept that I did yesterday, just based on dragging. So the next step, basic drag functionality. The next step is get a box from a sheet to a background container. And so in my task is I have like a number of steps, right? So I have this proof of concept task, and so I have proof of concept task, then I have the actual prototype task. And the prototype is before the final implementation. It's like a 3-step process of discovery, and by the first and second step and then the third step, you really have a really nice picture of what you need to do and how you need to do it. You can then use standard architecture patterns to take what you've done, like the prototyping and the proof of concept ideas, and then implement it. The first step is the proof of concept. The second one is put it together into a structure that would work within the application that you want to build it. So it's like still a separate application, or maybe a fork of the app that you're building. But you've got where is it? You've got more context about how it's going to fit within your application. And then the last one is actually doing the implementation. So let's see. Stream Manager, there we are. I'm going to jump on this here. All right, we're all set up here. So weird. I did like one video where I actually put it, like it was like a pushback against the vibe coding to do AI stuff. I was like, don't do casino coding. Yeah, and that's that. So, all right, let's get it started. So we've got this. We've been worth get a box from a sheet, background container. What do we have here? We've got our book that's downloading. So we've got this gesture on this module view, and this is the container view, right? So this is the container view. This is just container view. And the next item will be, what's missing here? Content view. Oh, that's right. I should have done the refactor. Just rename this also. All right, so we have the container view. This will contain the data, the object, but we want this object to start in a sheet, and the sheet will we'll have a VStack. We'll have a button on the top, and then we'll open. Where's the button? Go. We have the options here. title key and action. So just title key. We just want basic buttons like open sesame, open sheet, sesame, sheet of me, open sheet. All right, and then the code here we'll just do. Let's actually toggle open sheet, so we can do that easy. And then we will add a new state variable here. Sheet open. This false to start. And then we just toggle. This is a nice little boolean. I actually like this album. It's a good album here. macOS screen capture is actually playing sound, so I wonder if that's. Oh, wait, music. Why is that audio mixer? Oh wait, what's going on? That's working, but the music. Why is that? I set up this OBS controller to control the music for this, but I think it's, for some reason, it stopped working. Oh, look. So we've got plus, we've got source, Spotify, step size 1. Volume. Why did it stop working? Application Spotify capture. Unless. No. It's actually just not working at all. That's annoying. It was working. It was working yesterday. You can see that turning off and on. Well, that sucks. What about if I go... Wait, but I turned off the desktop audio, right? That... No, macOS screen capture. But I can turn the off and on. You can see. Yeah, that the mic works, but the music output does not. And I actually test Spotify. Oh, wait a second. Spotify screen. It's changed. Is it because the screen? Ah, wait a second. Yeah. So the Spotify screen. I have a. Okay. So what happens is basically in the different scene, the sources are called something different. So in my intro screen, it's called Spotify. In my screen share, it's called Spotify screen. And so it just doesn't know what to do there. What if I go sources and move this in? Copy, and then put it here. Then paste reference, and then delete this. And then delete the... And then let's fade it back in. Okay, so now if we go back and fix this and set this to Spotify, yep, that works. So now that's better. So you can actually probably hear the music again. All right, let's fix that. Cool. We can turn the music up and down. Pretty quiet, but yeah, that should do. It's background. If it is loud, let me know. All right. toggle sheet open. All right, so next thing we want to do is throw a sheet on this. We'll comment this out. Keep a little location can drag to the top because otherwise this. Okay, so we have this like that. Toggle open sheet. Okay, and then we have sheet here. And this is where this thing comes in handy. It's probably the best reference manual I've ever seen in my life. To be honest, the guy who built it, his name's Big Mountains. The guy that built it, the author, he is I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. Ben, I think. I'm not sure. Big Mountain Studio, Mike, something like that. But basically, he's got this really cool reference manual that he's built, and it's just really easy to refer to things. That's why it's called reference. And that's what I find AI is really essentially good for. But what I'm looking for is sheets. Let's see if I can find them here. If not, the good thing about this is opposed to, say, AI is that it gives me different points of reference without me kind of leading. It leads me to understand the thing that I'm trying to understand. With the LLMs, you're kind of leading it, and so by leading it, you're not learning as much as you could. That when if someone else who's done that learning has digested it and produced something for you to learn with. So here we go. Presenting with bool. It gives us an example with information that's specific. So you can use dismiss. So we have environment. We don't really want to dismiss that. We just want to present the sheet. And then you can do a dismiss on the view. So the modal view sheet is presented and we got the modal view. Okay, I think we got a delivery again. I'll double check. Hey, I'll check. Hello? Hello? Yes, hello? Yeah, I'll be there in a moment. All right, I'll be back to get some parcel. Okay, welcome back. Hello again. Hello. So yes, working on this, we're going to present a sheet. And the sheet will just have a container view that will contain our draggable object. So the goal is to get this, which I did yesterday, to move it over. I found it pretty easy to actually do the dragging component. And the funny thing is I use this whole thing to, I used this book to refer to it, and I adjusted things to just prove that, you know, how it works. One of the things I did is I actually used Claude 3. I used Claude 3.7 to do one thing and to write out a draggable view that only starts moving after a certain period. And this is where I thought, look, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done. This is Claude 3.7. This is the top of the line, the best AI model. And it wrote, it wrote about 50 to 80 lines of code related to the actual enabling of the drag, so that's fair enough. All right. It may have got it right. I didn't even prove it, but, but all that it did, right, it could have done with, if I find that dragging point, the long press, here it is, there's a drag gesture. It could have just done this, right? So it could have just done minimum distance 50 instead of writing about 50 to 100 lines of code. And it was at that point, I'm like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done with all this LLM model coding. I've not found it anything any more useful than maybe referring to a sort of helping me structure how to do projects. But even then, like, I ended up doing the AI. I ended up doing the project without AI anyway, without the LLM. So back to the task at hand. Whoop. Oh, geez. What is this? Just got a lot of emails just come through. Okay, that's ready. I'll go do that. All right. Off we go. Back to this. So less about AI and more about the task at hand. We are going to create a little sheet here. So people, you might find this interesting, but even just this small kind of work that we're doing to set this up, it can end up being really useful when we're because I have the end in mind, right? I've designed the end modular system, and it's going to be really useful. The context of it is really useful. It's going to be data driven. We're going to have items that we can drag and drop from the web from a web API onto the phone. As part of an IoT ecosystem, really useful. But the basics you need to know in order to then, when you come back to this code and say, well, we need to change something significant, then you understand it from basic principles, right? And that's what I mean. This is basic principles. We're just validating them. So what do we have here? We have that sheet, I think it was, based on that. Yep. And we have the item and on dismiss. Interesting. So yeah, we'll just let's have it like this binding. So we have a binding, which is the syntax for binding is sheet open. We have a function for on dismiss. We do on dismiss, and we have identify. And this is the content. So is this like a text view? Text? Let's do text. This is some text. So this is a different way of showing a sheet. What is this? Help? There's no help for this. Sheet item. This is a different item. A binding to an optional source of truth for the sheet. When item is non-nil, the system passes the item's content to the modifier's closure. Okay, that's interesting. That's a completely different way of doing it. Makes sense, but that's not what I want to prove today. So we'll go back one step and we'll try a different one. Sheet item content. We'll just item content again. No, is presented. That's the one we want. So we want to just binding here is sheet open and content, and this is the content that will return a view. Text. Just this is some text. This is some text. And we'll just comment out the. We will comment out this piece of code for now, just to get it running. Okay, cool. So let's toggle sheet, and we've got a text. We have some sheet here. Now, what about if we move this and I use the coordinate space? I wonder if that one would just drag this green object here, or drag this into here. But we have the module view, which is this module view is the thing that we're dragging in response to the dragging. Let's see. So basically I want to have this toggle sheet open now. So we've got that open, and now we can drag this in here. But what if I move this? I can't move it. Oh, that's interesting. I can't actually move it out of this view. I'm sure I could move it if I tried. But that's gonna be fun. How are we gonna get that to work? So basically what the goal is we want this, as I'm dragging, I want to be able to drag it. I've lost it. It's at minus something now. Let's, I'll make the coordinate space different. I'll remove this green thing, this green frame, and I'll just make it max size, right? So this is the fill rectangle. And instead of doing this, because it's a Z stack, I'll just do max width, max height. And I want the position, starting position of this to be, say, not 0, 0, but say location 0, location point at 100, just to test 100, 100. All right, so let's try 100, 100 on the position. And let's get rid of this frame. It's got max width. Let's see what that. I don't think it'll push out. I think we need to go width dot. We'll go back. I think it's width dot maximum or in dot infinity, and this height is also dot infinity, I think. Or I don't think we do that. We just go. I don't think we even need to do that. This is the rectangle filled with blue. What? Oh, that's the module view. Oh, that's the wrong view. So this is the container view. So this is the one we want to go. No, forget about opacity. And this is where we have a Z stack. And then that should just be color green, which would push everything out. And this would be our coordinate space. If we open it, it should all be, yeah. And this is 100, 100. Okay, and again, we can't get it out of this view, but we want to get it out because it's an overlay in here. Mm-hmm. Can we increase the priority of it somehow? Let's see what's going on. So this is what I want to do. Okay, so this is goals. The overlay. Can we validate that? Can the overlay view get dropped into the not dropped? Can the overlay view appear on top of outside? Can appear outside of the sheet. Outside of the sheet. So the goal, I think, here is like we have this object inside this view that we want to possibly move out, and we may have gone down the garden path here, but let's see if we can, because we do have a coordinate space, but we also have a geometry reader. Let's have a look. What do we want to do? Drag sheet. Okay, so we have a sheet here. Let me look at sheet and see what we can find. Let's see if we can find priority. So we have a layout priority. What is layout priority? When using a horizontal stack with text used in it, there's a chance that text might truncate. The default values, the higher number, the higher priority to have enough space not trunk. Okay, so that's not it. That's layout priority. menu priority, menu order with priority, menu order, layout, priority. What else do we have here? Using color, symbol, weight. Compared with offset. Guides can be vertical or horizontal. Prevent text truncated, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. Layer priority. Layer priority tells a parent which one of its child view should be given priority when it comes to assigning space. No, that's not what we want. Okay, so that's not it at all. We're not looking at that. Solving priority, layer priority. That's not it. Still Z. Oh, there's more. Exclusive gesture. To achieve this, you want to connect the gestures. No. High priority gesture. No. I'm gonna have to do that in another piece of work. The whole gesture thing. Search complete. After. So what we want to do is Z. What is that there? Z order. So we have that. What about order? Layout behavior. Border. I wonder if you can like put in order in the space like that. That search for this text specifically? No. It's still looking for order views horizontally. No, so we're going to jump to some other point of information. So let's go and have a look at what's index. And a view can have an index line limit. Index, Z index. There we go. That's what I thought. Z index. Let's have a look at Z. Let's look for Z index in here. Z index. How does that work? If you want to change the layering order, you may notice the order of views in a layout view like VStack will put the last view on top of the others. If you want to change the layering order, you can use Z modify to remove views above or below other views. Interesting. So I guess the question is does a sheet follow these rules too? Because again, the container of the object is in here, is in this sheet, and it's an overlay into this Z stack. But if I get rid of this Z stack, I know I don't think that made any difference in the previous test. No difference. What if I just made this a module view and a Z stack without the overlay? So essentially it looks like something like this. Still drag it, but no, it's still in there. But this seems more like where we would want to go, because I think if we go into overlay, the sheet. What about if we do sheet overlay? So we're kind of like, would this still work? Green. Z stack overlay. It's still no. What about if we do overlay like this? I think this we might get into trouble here. So yeah, because that is currently here. But if I open it, it's still, yeah, it's behind. That's a bit of a conundrum. The module view. Okay, let's have it here in the Z stack then, like this, instead of an overlay, just to reduce. It's in this sheet, and what we want to do is the V stack here, Z index should be 10. Generally, the higher the Z, the further it is away. I think that's how it is. So the smaller Z, the higher the priority. Front to back ordering. Default is 0. When you want to control the front to back ordering views, in this example, there are two overlapping top layer and here's the index. Okay, no, it's the other way around. So the higher value is the higher priority. Because in 3D, when you do Z, it's like you're approaching the zeros on the Z axis, and so you get a different algorithm. So the smaller the Z, the higher the priority. And then sheet presents a sheet when a binding. One of discussion, use this method when you want to present a modal view to appear the user. Example below displays a modal view of a mock of a. Okay, sure. Yep. Present. Okay. But then we make the Z stack Z index 20. And this Z and this B 30. So again, higher it once again. I can just validate this, right? If I make this 40, then the module view should not appear because the color is in front of it. Yeah. And then if I make that 20, make it 25, 25. Yeah, no, that doesn't change it. It's like clipping. What we can do is if that's happening, right? So we're going to do a little funky monkey test. We can create another object that is the same thing in the other view here. Location is here. Again. Whoa. It's not liking that at all. But point is just to prove something, right? So we open the sheet and this one works fine, but this one does not. Okay, whatever. The point is, it doesn't have a coordinate space. If I do, can I change the sheet? Yeah, see? Okay. See, but that back, oh, so we got trouble here because this view again is not in the same coordinate system, right? So you can actually see that we would need to create an object at the top level, right? So this would need to be container view. We need to contain this and then have a Z stack. Interesting. We would want the container. This, we got the sheet and we got the container. Now you can see the sheet kind of go in the background, but we want this to appear on the top level when we grab it, right? we make it opacity. If it's dragging, we make it 1, otherwise make it 0. So what we do is go like this, and then the other thing would want to appear there, but it's not. Lost that there. So we're not getting anywhere, I think, at the moment. Is there another way to do modals? Let's have a look. The good thing about a sheet is it kind of like does it all for you there. We could showing modal pop-up. We have a pop-up like that. Custom pop-ups. Pop over. You can think of a pop over as a combination between a sheet and a context menu. Attach a pop over to a view and specify whether okay, so show pop over. Oh no, we don't want to pop. It's like a help pop over tab. Yeah, so I don't think popovers are the answer here. Although, yeah, because what we want to do is we want to be able to scroll through a collection of items and take one and then drag and drop it. That would be the ideal. Boom, boom. Well, let's have a look at sheet. Swipe down, disable. Interactive dismiss, disable. Detents. If you have more than one detent specified, then the drag indicator is automatically added to the sheet. So what is this? Let's play video. Ah, interesting. Halfway. Presentation detents. Set presentation detents to medium when you want the sheet to go 50% up. Large will go up to 100%. Okay, let's just try that. To just detents. That's actually an interesting thing as added in iOS 16. Our minimum accepted level is the presentation detents in the sheet. Presentation detents. Presentation detents. Presentation corner radius. Presentation drag indicator. There's all this stuff here. Presentation content interaction, background interaction. Very interesting. Okay. So we're kind of like still exploring this thing. Let's go to medium. Let's see what happens here with this. Stack view. Still kind of, yeah, that'll center things. Let's put this here and then put a spacer. All right, and keep it. There we go. So you can see that. Oh, that's nice. We're getting somewhere now. So you can see. Now, what about if I do this? Let's try this. Oh, that's what we want now. Hey, you got there by experimenting, right? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So we're part of the way there. And I actually think this, like, it could be a limitation, but it could be preferred. So we have like a scroll view here. What about if we do medium and dot small? Custom fraction height. Custom detent with a specified height. Custom fraction of 0.7. So how does that work? And then that could, interesting. So this is actually closer, right? There seems to be some, I can get it stuck in a state somehow. See, it's a different coordinate space here. Get stuck. Okay, that's not good. Anyway, that's a problem for another day. So we have like this, and then we have like down. All right. Okay, so Hmm. I think it's time for another coffee, the last coffee for the day. Try and figure out this problem. Okay, so we've got this. We've got, can the overlay view appear outside the sheet? Yes. Yes, as a separate object. Because the thing is, if we wanted to have it as a, if we wanted to, what if we had something in the, yeah, okay. The sheet has its own coordinate space, right? And this coordinate space, what about if we do this? So what does coordinate space do exactly? I wouldn't be sure. Coordinate space tells us, assigns a name to the view's coordinate space so that other code can operate, and it's deprecated. Use coordinate space instead. It's non-isolated. Assigns a name. Isn't that what I was using? Named coordinate space. So if it's not string, but it's named coordinate space equals named coordinate space. Can you no, you can't. Wait. Dot named. What? Dot what? Dot scroll view. The named coordinate space that is added by the system for the innermost. This is interesting. I really don't know what this is. Available when self is named coordinate space. Name coordinate space that is added by the system for the innermost containing scroll view. Alright, so let's make this a scroll view, because that's what it'll be, right? Let's make this a scroll view, just because, and then we go coordinate space, instance, not name, we just, my coordinate space. And then the coordinate space of this will be the same. Now, I don't know if that will, well, I don't know exactly what that'll do. Let's turn off the opacity controller, because that doesn't make, that we don't need to worry about that at the moment. That failed to build. Why did it fail to build? Named, static method named requires that named coordinate space conform to hashable. Ah, so this is a sequence coordinate space. Why did I put this? Why did I put coordinate space here? The name coordinate space that is added by the system. Interesting. This is a drag gesture. I don't remember it actually being required to have a drag gesture or the coordinate space. To recognize a drag gesture on a view, create and configure the gesture, and then add it to the view using, okay. But I think I'm trying to figure out what the coordinate space is for. To recognize a drag gesture. So this is to recognize drag gesture on a view, create and configure the gesture, and then add it to the view using. So this is the drag gesture on this view. I think that. Oh, interesting. So this is still relative. You got the Z stack. So the coordinate space did mean something. Yeah. I do named just test coordinate space. That's not working. What about in here? No, that's still not working. Let's set this coordinate space to be named any hashable. So this is any hashable. My coordinate space. But then my coordinate space is not hat. That is a little bit of an issue with this, isn't it? Just a little bit of an issue. Let's see. So we but if I do named test, so it'll be the same cache, right? Test coordinate spaces. Ah, actually, instead of that, it's be my coordinate space. Silly. Okay, cool. But if that's that coordinate space, we want this coordinate space to be, okay, got that object, but we want the coordinate space here. So we don't, so what is the location for, right? The location really is used by the position of this. There's two things here. One is, let's get rid of this commented out code to clean things up. We want to separate the gestures from, got the gestures working. Let's separate the gestures out from the sequenced. Let's just clean all this up. It's a bit of a mess. Little bit of a mess. Don't need this, don't need this. You can't drag, don't need this. Just Z index, we don't worry about that, that didn't work. Okay. So we can drag this. Let's just think it works now. This is the thing that we want to do. But we can drag it. We can drag it. We can't drag it. Like, that's good to know. So all these other views can we make them appear on the other view behind this view? Where would that be? We would need to know the difference between this sheet. Can we do it with coordinate space? That's the question. Can I convert between coordinate spaces? So this is the show half sheet. That's pretty cool. Custom detail size, we don't need to worry about that. Hide the drag indicator, we don't need to worry about that. We can customize things like the background, the thin material. That's nice. We could have like a little thin material. Good to know. I'll just put that in there just as a reminder for later. So this is called discovery. And you're not necessarily going to find it out. See, this is the thing. You're not going to find this out by using an LLM where you go, you know, I'm just kind of exploring and doing discovery, and I'm learning things that I didn't know I could do. And the great thing about that is I'm not actively looking for it, right? But now that I know that it's there, I might go, okay, well, now I know I can do this. That's great. You know, if I see something and go here, like I had no idea that I could actually make this kind of like a blurred background, right? And if I'd used an LLM to do some of this work, I'd be like, okay, that's it. But then I wouldn't have that knowledge about something that came up during the discovery process where I could say, that's cool, I could use that. And so now that I know that it's there, instead of later on down the track, I go, oh, you know, let's make this translucent. And then all of a sudden there's all this other stuff that comes along with translucency, and then the LLM might get it wrong and try to do translucency using the graphics integration for, I think, overlays. So you got an overlay thing in SwiftUI that actually does this kind of like frosty effect. And you could use it possibly on this, like it's a graphics rendering thing. But then I could miss this, and then, you know, all of a sudden I'm doing all this extra work. And that's what the whole thing is about, is that you know, my test yesterday when I did this, wrote out, like Claude wrote out all of this code, like wrote out a ton of code for the moving of for minimum distance on this gesture, on a drag gesture, minimum distance. Right? It wrote all this code. I just wanted to validate that I'm doing the right thing by doing the discovery process without using an LLM. And so I did it on the top of the range, Claude AI 3.7. I said, make me, you know, an object that only starts dragging after a certain amount. And then I thought, okay, maybe this will work. And then I looked, and it essentially wrote 100 lines of code that could have been done in one line of code. And this is why you can't trust LLMs, even the latest, greatest. And this isn't anything new, this value. This was added in, I think minimum distance was added in, where was it? Showed a correlation. It doesn't say when it was added. Oh no, iOS 17. So that was last year. I don't know. I would have thought Claude 3.7 would have had that. Anyway, so that's that. No more AI, LLM rubbish hype. It's just out of control. Let's get back to this. Okay, so we've got like our opacity here. Little opacity man. Hello, opacity man. So that turns on. Now we want to make sure that the object at the top, in the top view, again is in a different coordinate space. But see, this is where the position. What about if I go and set the position of the location to be in the parent object, right? So I'll go here. I have this sheet and I have this, and then let's open it. Yeah, and then. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Very nice, very nice. That's what I want. Because what that's saying is now I can set the position independently. If I set this position here, and I can move, I should be able to, no, that's good. I've got the coordinate space for this. And then I can set the position of this. What about if that's in a different coordinate space? My other, so just got a name coordinate space, other. My other coordinate space. Should really. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's interesting. So I had like a snap. Still obviously not where we want it to be. Why is this interesting? I think if I stop the anyway, I'm just my other coordinate space here. So if we make this my other coordinate space, does that mean anything? Oh, that's it. It snapped. Because the location. So we could possibly use a geometry reader or something to get the position of one view. Let's have a look, because I know there's this thing called the geometry reader. Customizing a sheet. Let's see. I like this presentation background. Presentation background of the presentation edents. Presentation background. Style, and we'll just make it thin material. That's nice. Let me look at this. Oh, because that's interesting. It's a scroll view. I'm gonna swap these around. There we go. That's how we should. That's it. Although, not exactly what I was expecting, because I think the Z stack is not pushing out to the full size of the scroll view. All right. Just turn off the scroll view, make it Z stack. Okay. Okay, here we go. I think it's coffee time. Guys, thank you for tuning in. It's good to see you. I look forward to seeing you again the next stream. And again, I really need to make these a lot more regular. Maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. I probably can't do 4 times a week because I'm on site with a client 2 days a week. So could do 3 days a week. And thank you for tuning in. I will see you later. Bye bye.